On today's episode of The Ango Show, we're going to be talking about some massive news surrounding WWE and AEW. There appears to be tons of backstage drama, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But I want to kick things off with some WWE news. More specifically, we're going into SummerSlam this weekend in Detroit. Bobby Roode has been spotted in Detroit, according to multiple sources. I know PW Insider has been talking about this, and a lot of people are wondering what exactly is going on here. Now, here's the thing, guys. Bobby Roode, severely injured, may or may not be medically cleared, so this idea that Bobby Roode will in fact show up at SummerSlam is definitely an intriguing one. But then you also got to look historically at how WWE handles the veterans. Guys like Bobby Roode, we've seen time and time again, they are used to put over other talent. And trust me, there is a massive feud that I could see being very beneficial to WWE, and that would in fact be Bobby Roode versus LA Knight. But again, when we were talking about injuries and you're talking about medical clearance, the likelihood of him being medically cleared at this state, it doesn't seem likely. Is it possible? Yes. But I think Bobby Roode would be the perfect heel to go one-on-one with LA Knight. I think it would be a very, very good feud. But again, historically, WWE likes to use their veterans as the main pieces to put over other talent, which it kind of sucks because I feel like Bobby Roode is just, it's wrong timing, right? This guy is somebody that could definitely be a big star for WWE. He could have always been a big star for WWE. And, you know, it's never too late, but coming off a serious injury, you just got to look at the likelihood of that happening, and it doesn't seem very likely. So what does actually seem likely in Bobby Roode's situation? I'm going to be pretty honest. I think being an agent, being a producer, being a coach, being a trainer, something like that definitely would make sense. And with him being in Detroit, if he is not in fact medically cleared, hey, maybe he's there just visiting friends and colleagues. Maybe he's there to produce or, you know, be an agent or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just sucks because, again, I think everybody who's a big fan of Bobby Roode would love to see him in a major program. Guys, we got to talk a little bit about AEW All In. They are dubbing it the biggest wrestling event of all time, and it very well could be that case. We're going to see exactly how things transpire once All In comes out. But unfortunately, AEW All In seems to be taking place without Bryan Danielson and Jamie Hayter, two of their top stars on the show. We also don't know if Thunder Rosa will be there, but it sounds like Thunder Rosa, despite training for a comeback, may also not be medically cleared. And look, when it comes to AEW All In, it's at Wembley Stadium. This sucks. You know, if I were to put my feet into the boots of Bryan and Thunder Rosa and of course Jamie Hayter, I would really hate this, right? Because this is the biggest show for AEW. I mean, look, this is going to have a very big historical value in the world of pro wrestling. What they're achieving here is obviously fantastic. And to miss that show, it would definitely suck. And, you know, the thing is, AEW, they've had this issue before where top talents have to miss some of their biggest and best shows, and that sucks. And obviously, there's nothing you could do when it comes to injuries and things of that nature. But, you know, you're looking at AEW All In as a milestone for this company. It's a milestone for pro wrestling in general. And to have some of these top names miss the show, it's just definitely, it sucks. It's sad. It's depressing. But also, if I'm a talent in AEW and, you know, I'm given this opportunity to work at Wembley Stadium in front of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, I'm going to take advantage of it because hopefully with the amount of attention that is on this card, they are using that publicity to help put over new talent and put over some potential future stars. This should be a show that makes a statement. And if you're not doing that here, you are really missing a big opportunity. Despite the good things happening in AEW, there appears to be two different stories where things get a little bit negative. Dave Meltzer was talking about the significant issues between the Elite and CM Punk, and it appears it's still an issue. Dave Meltzer has reported that the issues between the two have continued, even with the signing of the Elite retaining their AEW contracts and their status. There does remain significant behind-the-scenes issues that haven't been settled between the Elite and CM Punk, and basically this is keeping Tony Khan trying to make everybody happy. Now, what's really interesting is Kenny Omega, after Dynamite, he was talking about it was like a dark promo, dark segment, basically talking about, you know, they're with AEW, they're going to be on Dynamite, Rampage, and even Collision. And, you know, we're talking about AEW All In. A lot of significance there. The fact that AEW has not found a way to put this match between Kenny Omega and CM Punk on the show is absolutely mind-boggling. It is absolutely mind-boggling because this drama that exists, I don't give a shit about it. There has been tons of he say, she say. There are tons of fans who are picking sides on drama that they have not seen with their own eyes. They have not heard with their own ears. And it's nothing against the Meltzers. It's nothing against Sean Ross. It's nothing against any of these other people. But the thing is, we are talking about drama. We are talking about backstage issues. There's multiple different stories, multiple different takes, and multiple different versions of what has happened, and people are picking sides. Utilize that to make money. Utilize that to increase pay-per-view buys. Use that to increase television ratings. At this stage of the game, if these issues remain, it is time for Tony Khan to get this patched up, get this fixed up, because Collision is a very hot product right now. Collision is the A show for me as a fan. And if you have this storyline crossing between shows, it can do a lot of great things. But then, of course, you have AEW All In. You have All Out happening right after. It's time to get this patched up. It's time to move on. It's time to get beyond this, because now we are talking about a massive pay-per-view with a huge value in its place within wrestling history. And this is the biggest match that could be made for the pay-per-view. And the fact that it doesn't seem to be going that direction is a huge blow. Guys, independent wrestler LuFisto has been talking a lot of stuff coming out between this interview that she did with Fightful. For those who don't know, there seems to be a very major issue, and we're going to talk about it. Let's pull it up right here. Let's get the screen going. Guys, I want to show you guys these tweets. This is definitely causing a lot of reaction. LuFisto says, had a 1-hour phone call with a current AEW talent. The women who actually addressed the problems I did today were the ones sent home by Tony Khan. There was a meeting to shoot on Thunder Rosa, and that Tony Khan attended. Before leaving, he reminded them that the legitimate wrestlers, here, let's just go up into this. He reminded them that their segments were the lowest. When some girls arranged a meeting to talk about Britt Baker's crew, one of them ran to Britt to let her know. The girls that wanted to address the problem were the ones punished. Things didn't get better. They got worse. The legitimate wrestlers believe Tony Khan doesn't give a damn about women's wrestling and feel like they're going back to the Divas era. Ask me who the fuck I am. Tell me I am irrelevant and that I'm doing this shit for attention. Call me a liar. Tell me to KMS. You keep on closing your eyes and supporting human beings with shitty behavior with the messages of support, and especially this phone call I received from AEW employees. Nobody did the right thing. Guys, you can go on Twitter. You can see everything for yourself. You can go listen to the interview with Fightful. First of all, the transcription of the interview was very, very good as well. There seems to be a huge issue with the AEW women's locker room. There is a huge issue with communication. And when LuFisto brings this to everyone's attention, you have people who are personally targeting the wrestlers. And again, it's this tribalism mentality. It's this, you got to pick the right side. There is no right side. Okay? We can talk about WWE's women's division. We could talk about AEW women's division. We could talk about backstage drama all the damn time, but it's not about picking sides. It's about finding solutions. The fact that this is a common thing in wrestling, and then you have people in wrestling media trying to say, well, this is a wrestling locker room. Like, dog, we got to stop trying to let these people justify shitty behavior. If you're going into a job, it doesn't matter if it's wrestling. It doesn't matter if you work at your local Walmart. You're going into work for a livelihood, to position yourself to better yourself and your family and make sure your bills are paid and make sure there's food on the table. I don't know why people think, oh, well, it's the wrestling industry. It's a wrestling locker room. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It doesn't benefit anybody. Backstage politics will always happen, and people use that as justification for it to happen, and I think that's bullshit. It shouldn't be happening in general, and it's not just an AEW issue. It's a wrestling industry issue. WWE leaving off top stars off of SummerSlam. It's mind-boggling to me, but this is an issue that the people at the top of the company need to fix, and it's something that Tony Khan needs to make sure gets fixed. The stuff about QT Marshall no longer responding. There's a lot of he say, she say. There's two sides to every story, but the fact that there is this side that is coming out and then there's no comment from anybody else, It's disappointing. This is a problem. It needs to be solved. And again, whoever's out there trying to justify this by saying, well, it's the wrestling industry, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. I 100% believe it's bullshit because we cannot be justifying, I don't care what job it is. These companies have employees that work for them. They're a team. They got to make it work. And if you're not willing to make it work and you're willing to make it a bad environment, the good thing is there's a million other places to work. And I truly believe in the workplace, you should be happy with where you work. And I understand that every job is not going to be easy and not every job is going to be great. But the fact is, the fact that this is a wrestling industry thing, it's bullshit and people got to stop justifying it. Regardless of how true or how accurate her side is, that doesn't matter. Because we're hearing tons of problems backstage in all of these companies. And why? Doesn't make sense. Let me know what you guys think down below.